drank them. I have no idea. All I know is I just kept filling the glass up.
Who told you you could have sex in our bed?
Well, my bed is too small. Your bed is too small? I'm gone 2 weeks and you turn our house into Bourbon Street? That's it. You're grounded.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
All right, Chew, Yelp us.
Yelpy.
Give us the Yelp review. You went to the Hobnob this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The pictures you shared with us were stunning.
Idyllic.
I didn't realize it was right on the water. Beautiful. So that was a shock pulling in.
Just is so funny because every other person on this panel, we would have Google mapped it at some point, right? Like we're going to the Hobnob, especially if we're driving, and we would have seen the bloop pin right along the water.
Well, no, the problem here is you're telling me when you looked up their menu on Friday, you were sitting there looking at the menu. There's 0 pictures on their websites of their beautiful lake view?
I'm sure there were, but I go right to the menu. Which people thought is weird. That's not weird.
I
Is
go
that
right
weird?
to the. Well, no, we know you. You go right to the food.
Yes. So pull in, place, beautiful location, packed. But it was nice. We got there probably 6:45, and the blue hairs were already leaving. Because I'm sure they were there at 3:30.
I don't know. Some of those pictures I saw, Chew, there were some blue hairs.
Yeah, there were. Inside,
there's a picture of sailboats on the logo.
I knew it was near the water. I didn't know it was on the water. Took a few pictures. Had a old-fashioned, outstanding. Service was great. Food was good. It was worth the hour and 10-minute drive. Put it that way.
Wow.
It was worth it.
That's awesome.
Man,
Highly
to hear
recommend.
you, the last time, I can't even remember the last time I heard you saying good things about service.
Service was outstanding. Yeah, bartender, very friendly, came up
I mean, the
after
last time
the meal, had ourselves a grasshopper, which I haven't had in years,
a
probably 20
grasshopper?
years.
Oh, man.
But it was different. It was like a mound of ice cream with what is it, creme de menthe?
I saw that picture on
Over
the
the top?
website, too. I was like, ooh.
So we all shared that. It was great. Highly recommend it.
What was the best part?
I mean, the view was unbelievable.
Did you have a table with
We had
a
a
good
great
view?
table. Yeah. Perfect.
How
Great
much can a view make up? You know, if you have a 10 view, can the food be a 6?
Yeah. As long as the service is good.
Okay, so now it's a service
So
thing,
it's
too.
kind of 2 out of the
So this is
3.
like when you do with the Packers, offense, defense. Sometimes you
Yes.
do special teams, but mostly not. Like, and there's a combination of the 2 scores. Chewy, you score the offense, you score the defense. Give me a score for the view. Give me a score for the food. Give me a score for the service.
View was a 10 because the water was literally right there over on a bluff. Was a 10. Service, give it a 9. Food's a tough one because I don't.
What'd you go with?
I went with the prime rib.
Okay, so you did go with the prime rib.
And then Angie got lobster tail. So I had a little bit of best of both worlds.
Little make your own surf and turf.
Rockefeller, outstanding. I'd give the food, I'm tough on food, I'd give it an 8.3.
Okay.
Which for me is pretty good. Seeing how we went to a pizza
Okay.
Portnoy.
Yeah.
He reviews pizza.
Uh-huh.
He gave this place in Chicago a 7.5, and I agreed with it because I'm a pizza
I
connoisseur.
love that you know who Portnoy is.
Well, just because of the pizza.
Okay,
I was about to
gonna
say, he doesn't know who Portnoy is.
You could have, I could have made a wager $1,000
Yeah.
and would have lost that one, that you would know who
Yeah.
Dave
I was about
Portnoy
to say,
is.
he doesn't know his first name.
Oh, yeah. What do you think his first name
I
is?
think it's David.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Would have lost that bet.
David?
But here's the thing. I know
Okay,
he does
Mark.
radio or something like that. I really don't care what anyone else says other than me. So I don't, I'm like,
Yeah, something like that.
right? Like, who cares?
That's
Now, pizza, I'm in line with you. What else?
No, that's it.
So
Service,
ambiance,
food,
service, and food.
So the pictures you sent us, I swear to God, I thought you went in a time machine. It has a very, it's a retro vibe.
But again, for someone, because you had admitted on Friday that you have never been to a supper club,
correct.
That is the vibe and the aesthetic that I want out of my supper club.
I mean, there is a giant martini cocktail, pink and blue and red on the wall.
That's how you know you're in the right place.
You said the writing of the food and cocktails looks very much like, is it 70s? Is it 80s? I don't even know what decade it is. But
late 70s-ish.
And then, again, I love the picture. You look at the tables. They got linen tablecloths. You got linen napkins, a lot of red, lush. The walls look marbled. You got
it's great.
I mean, it's just very, it's ornate, but ornate in a, like, back-in-time DeLorean type of thing.
It's exactly what you're looking for in a supper club.
Now, what's a hobnob? Is that just hanging out and shooting the bull?
Yeah.
That's hobnob?
Right? If you're hobnobbing.
You're hobnobbing.
To me, hobnobbing is working to get favor if you're hobnobbing.
Really?
You are working to benefit yourself or
There's
your
a little
future.
transactional element to hobnob?
To me, hobnobbing is not just simply interacting. There is a goal in mind.
I don't like hobnob as much anymore. Now you've made it, like, dirty.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this about the world. A lot of people have ulterior motives, Jen.
Mix socially, especially with those of higher social status.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're not...
Social climbing.
Huh?
Social climbing.
Sounds kind of country clubby to me.
Sure does.
We know how you feel about that.
Yeah.
But again,
Friends
that's,
and neighbors.
But that's again, when you think about supper club, you know, that's kind of what you were getting into back in the day. Yes, supper clubs are now more readily available, but I'm guessing they were a little more exclusive.
Yeah, but I don't want to hang
back
out
in
with
the 70s.
the cock of the walk.
What do you think you are, pal?
I am not.
I do love that in one of the photographs, Chewy's clearly taking pictures for us, right? Because we asked him to share some with us in the group text chain. One of the women is staring right at you. She's like,
"Really?
Look at this tall, giant human being taking photographs of the crowd." Like, there's a part of me that is wondering as I'm looking at her in your photograph, did she recognize our guy? Did she know that was Mark Chmura, Super Bowl champion?
Well, they made me sign the book or whatever. And they're like, the only other one that's been here is a cub. Skeeter Nuts or whatever. Great. And it didn't come out very well.
Well, you were already a grasshopper in.
You know, when you can't spell a word and you just cursive your way through it.
You're having trouble with your own name?
Just leave it alone, all right?
How many autographs have you signed?
It must have been something more than his autograph.
It
Okay,
was.
he's got that
It was a
nailed.
book that they're like, can you sign the book and make a comment? So I left a comment.
But you made a comment that you couldn't spell.
Hold on. Let us three. Let's figure out what word.
Hospitality, all right? Are you happy?
I was thinking maybe
2 old
congratulations.
fashions, couple glasses of wine. Cut me some slack here.
Let's redeem ourselves. Spell hospitality now.
H.O. Spitality.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh my God!
Nailed it.
You know, Layla, my 7-year-old, is in the spelling phase of the world right now. You know what I would tell her? Break it up into pieces, right? So you go with the Haas part, then the pit part, then the ality.
Yeah.
How far away is hospitality away from hospital with an idiot at the end?
Did you say with an idiot at the end? Because that would have applied as well.
That cream de mint put me over the top.
Sounds like it. Just the one old fashioned then? Okay. Well, it sounds like you had a good time. We had a ton of people weighing in, ton of people giving us their suggestions for supper clubs. I even saw Chase's baseball coach this weekend who couldn't believe I'd never been to one before. He was like, "Really, Jen? You've never been?" I said, "Where do we go?" He said, "Ishnala." I said, "Okay, well, that's not exactly around the corner."
Ishnala's probably at the top of the list of just about every Wisconsin supper club. But they've got other supper clubs in the Dells as well. There's a couple that are actually
Is the Del Bar? Is that
Del Bar?
Is that a supper club?
That's a supper club.
Okay, because
Del
that's
Bar.
a good default.
Yeah, like
It's a very good default.
If you don't want to wait for
but that's still an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of wait at Del Bar.
Yeah.
We know Gabe went to Summerfest this weekend. I went to the pool yesterday, as you can see by the damage I did to my skin. Ooh, it's spicy. And the crazy thing about that, guys, is I am the sunscreen queen. Like, I am putting sunscreen on my face every day. I am always telling people, Chase and his girlfriend, when they're going to the beach, don't forget your sunscreen, put your sunscreen on. Like, I could be that guy from 1999 who said, wear sunscreen. If the only advice you follow of this thing, is to wear something, like, that's me. So this is
Seems
a bad
like
look.
you want to relinquish your crown. I don't know if you can be the queen and then walk in looking like this. Is that...
Shouldn't you just be able to take a pill these days?
For sunscreen?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right?
I don't
No.
think that's how
Yeah.
that would...
I want the sunscreen on the outside of my body,
Yeah.
not on the inside of my body.
no.
The
but
protective
it's-
layer is kind of critical here.
No. I mean, you could take a pill to get a tan, I think.
No.
Yeah.
You could get
Is this one of your
jaundice.
investments?
Is that what we're
No.
talking about?
That's a different kind
I mean,
of tan.
I had a buddy, I think, that took the pill, but it was very orange. So they don't have it dialed in yet.
You think?
No. I mean, literally orange.
Like Oompa Loompa?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they need
It's definitely still
put a
in the
little pint
beta
in there
phase of that.
somewhere.
Speaking of, guys, I saw a gentleman sitting in front of me at the pool yesterday just baby oiling himself up. Just straight, like, we know you should not use baby oil on your skin at
Correct.
this point, right? Like, that is, like, well known. Just over there lathering, slathering. I was like, oh, that's going to be good in about 10 years. Is that a mole? No? Okay.
Connect the dots.
Give it a couple weeks.
So you're,
How did we- so
you're
how did you-
anticipating peeling?
I am anticipating a peel, yes.
How
Not the
did
good
you,
kind of chemical one on your face
as
either.
the self-proclaimed sunscreen queen, not put on sunscreen?
I put it on my face. I put it on my shoulders. I put it on my tummy. I put it on my thighs. I did not put it on my chest.
What about your back?
I didn't really, it wasn't really back to the sun. It was sitting on a chair, watching the kids in the pool. Probably could have put some on my back or asked one of my pals to do it. I just forgot. As I was going through priority is the kids.
Yeah.
Right? So as soon as you get to the pool, because they want to jump in immediately, the priority is front and back.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're always, don't do my face, don't do my face. Okay, got to do your face. Close your eyes, close your mouth. Don't breathe. I think so. I did the kids, and then you're chit-chatting and you're going through the things, and I just didn't go through the full checklist. I just forgot, and it is, and I'm paying for it right now. Can you see it on the stream?
put it on when
Can
you
you
golf?
see?
Yeah.
You
It's
do?
not
I
totally
always
spray the face?
I just have I always have a spray in my trunk.
Yeah.
So it's just a quick arms. If I'm wearing shorts, hit the legs, back of the neck.
You should. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real easy. So are you a spray person, Jen, or do you go to the old school lotion?
Kiddo
Think they-
spray
I
for
think they have
ease.
sticks now?
I
You can
use
do
sticks on
sunspray
my
sticks?
face. I have
What?
I mean,
Sticks?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Much
it's-
like a deodorant.
exactly.
Oh, really?
And then you.
Okay.
It's
Ian's
fun
big
because you
on
know
the
what it's like.
lotion. I'm big on the spray.
It's like the eye black at baseball.
Yeah.
You could just like.
Yeah.
But I had a buddy ask me to put it on it. I can't do that.
Wait, you had a buddy ask you to put sunscreen on his
Florida.
back, and you said no.
You won't lather a pal?
What
No,
if it was
I'm out.
what if it was the spray? Would you spray his back?
I think it was lotion.
Yeah.
I can't.
But look, I understand because the lotion, you don't want to touch another man's back. I get
No,
that,
I
right?
don't want to touch another man. I think that's disgusting.
I understand.
I don't know.
But
how
if he
Angie
asked you,
does it.
if he handed you the spray, you wouldn't spray his back?
Wait,
begrudgingly.
you're just talking about. I
Don't
love
ask
that
me
you're
to
like-
spell that.
I love that you're like men just generally gross.
Yeah.
It's not even like hairy
Yeah,
back.
he lives with
or
himself. He understands men are
pimples, or any
gross.
of the other things that might be a turnoff, right? It's just generally speaking disgusting.
I think basketball might be the most disgusting sport.
Oh, because of the contact.
Yes.
The
Touching-
sweating.
And the direct contact, right?
Yeah.
Like there's not in football. You've got the pads.
I mean, I got
you've
gloves.
Yeah. In basketball, it's you're wearing a tank top and shorts. And There's
Yeah.
going to be some contact. You got to put that arm in the back if you're banging down on the post.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that.
Do you ever play pickup?
Hoops?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't touch anybody.
I don't want him on my team.
I'm not. Hey, I'm all about. Call me Bernard King. There ain't a lot of defense being played on my part.
How
He's
old
just
are you?
he's just standing at the wing and just like feed me. What's your distance? What's your range?
I'm big on zone. I don't want to touch another man. That's disgusting.
So good to know, though, if we were drafting a team, right?
Right?
He's a 3-and-D guy without the D.
Yeah.
He just wants to stand on the wing.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to go down to the post.
No.
He doesn't want anybody touching him.
Doesn't want bodies banging down there.
No.
Soft.
Oh, totally soft. Totally soft.
Put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy poll this morning. Infinity Exteriors poll this morning. Would you put sunscreen on another man's back? I guess you have to say it's the men who are answering this question. As a man, would you put sunscreen on another man's back? Chewy is adamantly, vehemently, no. Negative. Absolutely not. 800-990-3776. People are saying, Jen asking people to look at her chest on the street. Get to YouTube now. All right. You relax. It's a Monday. We got a lot of stuff to get to today, obviously. Big weekend for the Brewers as they took the series this weekend out at AmFam. Head on the road against a team that they are, I guess, battling, if you will, when it comes to the wild card standings. Bobby Portis has signed a new deal to remain with the Milwaukee Bucks. What does that mean for the success of the team this year? And we're going to go over our Packers red flags. What are the things that give you concern, cause for concern for the green and gold? That's all coming up this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are still rolling along pretty well across the entire system. We just have a little bit of a backup on northbound 41 right past Mayfair Road up towards North Avenue, but the rest of the system is looking nice and quiet. A few broken down vehicles here and there, but everything is out of traffic at the moment, not seeing any other delays. Traffic is brought to you by the Bud Pavilion's free concert series, Wednesday Night Live. Gates open at 6 with live music at 7. Hot Rod Huey and the B-Sides take the stage this week at Wednesday Night Live from the Bud Pavilion at State Fair Park. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, humid, scattered afternoon storms, a high of 84. Tonight, scattered storms ending early, clearing with a low of 65. Weather is brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. WeatherTech Vintage Weekend is coming up July 17th through the 20th. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. A customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip.
Turn on your TV and watch the damn greatness in front of your nose.
At the end of the day, that's what you're measured by, championship.
Available in Apple and Android app stores. Your one-stop shop for ESPN Wisconsin. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So remember he said his birthday?
Yeah.
Maybe we get a little freaky.
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, look at our horny little boy. Good for him. Like, everybody's so supportive of Giannis, they just kind of look past it.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Get to Gabe's trip to Summerfest this weekend in a few minutes here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But we got to talk about Bobby Portis. Get those Bobby chants ready, ladies and gentlemen, because Bobby Portis will indeed continue to be a member of your Milwaukee Bucks after agreeing to a 3-year, $44 million contract. And this is a good thing. I don't think there's anybody out there who can spin this or have a take of like, oh, they shouldn't have done this. This is a bad thing. Gabe, you were talking about the big man market. It's not all that deep. So if the Bucks were looking to replace Bobby with somebody else, there wasn't a lot out there that would have been an upgrade from Bobby's consistency and the chemistry he has with Giannis and company right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of an older market. Like some of the best centers out there are Brook Lopez and Al Horford. Those guys aren't exactly young. And then, so Miles Turner is also an unrestricted free agent. The problem is, like, nobody has any money to actually spend right now in the NBA because of the complications of their salary cap. So it's not like you would even be able to go out and give Miles Turner even a deal like this. The Bucks can spend more on their own guys, especially when you start taking a look at the numbers that Bobby puts up in some of the other contracts that were signed. Naz Reid signed a $100+ million contract to stay in Minnesota over the weekend as well. Their numbers relatively comparable. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal for the Bucks. 3 years, $44
Bobby
million.
Portis is who on the Packers? Keyshawn Nixon? I mean, he's not an A player.
No.
He's a role player.
Yeah, he's a role player.
He's a good role player. Who's a good role player?
But he's like a sixth man. So, like, I mean, do you have to go to somebody who plays, the nickel, if you will? Like, it can't be a starter per se, although there have been times where they have used him in that role.
I don't know. I kind of look at him as, like a Romeo Dobbs-ish. He's pretty solid, pretty reliable.
Okay.
Every once in a while goes off for a big game. Where he comes in, he's just red hot.
And you're talking about from production, Chew, I know,
Yes.
but also like from a fan favorite standpoint, is there even a comp right now as far as a Packers player who people just like go absolutely bananas over?
And not that I can think of.
On the defensive side of the ball? No.
I mean, I don't. It's a great question. Who would the fan favorite of the Packers even be? Like that cult? Do they? I don't know if they have that cult classic type of guy on the Packers. Like, because it can't be the quarterback.
Well, it used to be like the fullback sort of position.
Yeah.
So John Kuhn
A.J.
had
Dillon.
Well, yeah, but even like William Henderson. People loved William Henderson back in the day because of all like the dirty work he did. And that's why, because Bobby serves a lot of different roles. He can shoot, he can score on the post. Defense is a work in progress at times, but he's also not afraid to mix it up. Like
Tucker
he can
Kraft?
be an enforcer.
Fan favorite?
I think he's working his way
Getting there.
Okay. It's weird
Might
how
be
they
a
don't
little
really
premature.
have one, that we can't come up with one.
Yeah. Because like when Bobby comes into the game, like the energy in the building when they're at home changes because people are excited to see Bobby. He's the unofficial mayor of Milwaukee.
And I think, again, from let's go macro level, right, as opposed to micro, you talk about the Bucks, and there was all this uncertainty surrounding this offseason. Anytime you get a guy like this locked up, you get a little step closer to quote-unquote certainty. Now, will you always have it, or will you get there this year with the Bucks? I don't know, because we know about the financial constraints that they're facing. But to me, it's a step in the right direction of, okay, one thing we've cleared from our to-do list, we've cleared from the plate, move it over to the done. Now we can focus on the other things that we still have to do, the tweaking we need to do to get this roster where it needs to be. But the other element of it, guys, is Giannis is a big fan. Giannis likes Bobby. When Giannis was putting the stuff out there and Bobby was talking, and what is it, Giannis that said, never mind me, what are you going to do, right? And he kind of flipped it on Bobby to say, hey, we all want to know if you're coming back to the Bucks. So to me, there's that element as well of like, Bucks are always going to do whatever it takes to keep Giannis happy. And to me, this is a move that keeps Giannis happy.
Was this a discount?
I think it's pretty fair. I think it's a fair deal. Because additionally, as I mentioned, the NBA is just in a really weird spot right now where not a lot of teams have true salary cap space. So it's tough to sign outside free agents. I don't know if Bobby would have gone elsewhere, I don't think he makes this kind of money because teams just don't have it to spend.
Really? Okay. So who's next?
Gary Trent Jr. is probably the next priority to keep around.
Okay.
I would say. Try to make sure you have a guy who can play some defense, who can knock down open shots. And there could be some interest in him, especially with this Malik Beasley news going on.
If Gary Trent Jr. walked into the studio right now, Chewy, yeah, there it is.
No. No, Bobby Portis, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been here long enough. Gary Trent has only been here for a year.
Yeah.
I do have people weighing in on the Carbless Talk and text line 800-990-3776 on their comps. Chewy, you asked who's the comp.
Yeah.
Joey says Bobby is Randall Cobb when Rodgers was here. And his explanation is production, relationship to star player, very likable guy. Do you like that as a comp? Now, he's not on the team currently, but as a recent Packers player, is Bobby Portis similar to Randall Cobb?
Randall Cobb feels better.
Yeah, because Randall Cobb was he was a Pro Bowler at least. He had that 1 year where he was close to 1,300 yards.
Yeah.
And he was looked at as one of the better receivers in the league.
I got a better one. James Jones.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I mean, James Jones led the league in touchdowns 1 year.
Nice player. Never going to make the Pro Bowl.
No, but he's productive.
Yes.
Does what you ask him to do.
I like James
Does
Jones.
some dirty work in terms of making some catches over the middle.
Yeah.
Ron
and he was kind of a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially when he came back because Jordy got hurt.
Yeah.
And the receivers really stunk.
Ron and the Key weighing in saying Portis is Tucker Kraft. Justin in Jacksonville agreeing with that. He says Tucker Kraft is the best comp to Bobby Portis.
Bobby is what he is. Tucker Kraft's on the uptick.
What's your issue with Bobby? Is your issue with Bobby the defense?
He's just a guy. He's a nice guy.
He's more than just a guy.
I think he's second on the team behind Giannis in rebounds.
I want touchdowns.
They don't score touchdowns in. Okay, just want to make sure. Again, you got to cover your bases.
Tucker Kraft's on the cusp of
greatness.
Pro Bowl.
Well, we
Pro
think
Bowl nod.
Yes, because we believe that the Packers are going to go where they want to go in the next few years, not even just this upcoming season.
Yes.
That he's got to develop into an A player.
What's Bobby's position?
I mean, the NBA is kind of positionless outside of point guard.
So, but how would they rank him? How would they rank him?
He's like a power forward.
What is he ranked in the NBA? In
terms of being a power forward?
15? Higher?
Sounds about right. Maybe even a little lower than that.
Well, because every team is going to have a starting PF, and then he's
but I mean,
off the bench.
There are also teams that exist like the Washington Wizards who are just wholly unserious and don't have any players that are going to be on any top
I'm
list.
glad that the Washington Wizards exist right now so that Gabe can use them every time we talk about a bad team in the NBA. It's like, well, don't forget about the Wizards. They're just a disaster. 13.9 points, 8.4 rebounds, 2.1 assists. That was at the end of the year while shooting 46.6% from the floor, 36.5 from three. He was their top scorer and rebounder off the bench. Second on the team in rebounds only to Giannis Antetokounmpo. That from the Yahoo Sports article talking about Bobby Portis returning to the Bucks. How excited should I be about this? I guess I'm excited. I'm not like, because again, it gets them closer to solidifying the roster. If Bobby doesn't resign, to your point, Gabe, they're trying to fill that hole. They're trying to bring somebody else in. We know how important chemistry is to this unit. There's been all of these question marks about the Bucks this offseason. To me, it's like, check, done. Good. We like Bobby. Now move on to the next thing.
Yeah, it would have been tough to find an actual replacement for him. Like if you wouldn't have found a way to keep Bobby Portis around, because again, I'm assuming that Brook Lopez is not returning. I think the Bucks best. Not that I don't like Brook. Not that I don't think he can be a contributing player, but I think the Bucks need to take this gap year and get younger.
Yeah.
They need to get younger, and they need to start playing. By acquiring some of that youth, they need to play that youth so they get experience this year. And Brook Lopez is obviously not a young man. As much as I love Brook, he just doesn't fit what I think the Bucks' future needs to look like under Giannis. And Bobby Portis still fits. And if they didn't re-sign Bobby, then today would probably be a little bit more chaotic.
This is more about 2 years from now than it is next year, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's still under contract for that.
I mean, what if Brook came back for a Uber discount for the Jordy Nelson special? No?
It depends upon what else they're able to grab in free agency.
Or is it just you got to get younger?
I think you have to get younger, but if you can't find another big, because I still think they need another big man.
Yeah.
Because Giannis is going to be doing a lot offensively. You don't want to be asking him to play center minutes. That's going to beat him up physically.
Mm-hmm.
So you need another big man. And if you can't find any younger one, yeah, bring back Brook on like a 1-year deal and try to find a younger center next year.
800-990-3776. That's your Carbless talk and text line. You can weigh in on the show. Give us your comp. Lots of people are weighing in with their Packers comp to who Bobby Portis has been to this Bucks team. Ezra in Port Washington says Bobby is John Kuhn. Yes, we've mentioned John Kuhn. I think that is a good comp from a cult sort of fan favorite standpoint. I don't know about production. John Kuhn was very productive when he was here. It was obviously
fullback.
But yes, but also, like I said, Bobby is like the sixth man, right? So he's coming off the bench. He's contributing in those type of situations.
John Kuhn was productive in behest of better options. Meaning Mike McCarthy would just give him the ball way too much and it was unproductive.
You like the comp to John Kuhn or not? I honestly can't tell.
I think it's very disrespectful to Bobby Portis.
I would agree.
In terms of what he means to the actual team.
John Kuhn was an all-pro.
Great. I won most likely to, what does it matter? It's nothing.
Most likely to what?
Being an all-pro in the NFL?
He had 4 people he was competing against.
Still counts. Still counts.
Got a point.
Like what? If I won all-pro as a fullback, I definitely tell people I was an all-pro.
I'm getting a tattoo.
It's not saying much for you, Superman.
No.
We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to this morning, including your red flags for the Green Bay Packers. Stick around.
Find out what all the screaming is about with a BOGO offer from Screamin' Sicilian at Pick and Save in Metro Market. All Screamin' Sicilian pizzas, buy one, get one through from right now through July 1st. So there's just a little bit of time left in this deal. You got today, you got tomorrow. So get there. Pick and Save in Metro Market. Buy one, get one on Screamin' Sicilian. Think about what that means. Not just the original Screamin' Sicilian, but the thin and crispy. The tavern style, if you're looking for that classic Wisconsin crust. Or maybe you want the Detroit style. A little bit of a thicker crust, cheese caramelizing along the edges in a rectangle-sized pizza. It is so good. I don't know how they made a frozen pizza this good, but the people at Screamin' Sicilian figured it out. So maybe you should figure it out as well. Buy one, get one, going on right now with all Screamin' Sicilians at Pick and Save in Metro Market through tomorrow. Stock up your freezers and find out what all that screaming is about.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Nice quiet ride across the area, not seeing really any kind of delays. A few broken down vehicles here and there, but they're all out of traffic, so it's not really causing any issues. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes northbound 41, heading up from about Mayfair Road up to North Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by the Bud Pavilion's free concert series, Wednesday Night Live. Gates open at 6 with live music at 7. Hot Rod Huey and the B-Sides take the stage this week at Wednesday Night Live from the Bud Pavilion at State Fair Park. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, humid, scattered afternoon storms with a high of 84 tonight. Scattered storms ending early, then clearing, a low of 65. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Transform the way you do business with Fifth Third Bank's commercial payments solutions. Our market expertise and managed services streamline your entire payment process, seamlessly integrating with your existing systems to give you unparalleled control. Discover new revenue sources, save time, reduce operating costs, and boost your bottom line with our customized payment solutions. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, everyone who I let try borscht likes it. They don't love it, but it's a liver.
What an endorsement.
This is your
but hold on.
Here's your airline, guys. Good luck. I don't even have to talk anymore.
On 94.5 ESPN.
The open road is calling your name. The ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This July, you could burn some major rubber in the custom Harley-Davidson of your dreams in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. It's Fire Up Your Fantasy. It's only at Potawatomi. More information available online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play. We have talked about red flags here on the program before, but baseline step one of this conversation is just to remind our guy Chew what a red flag is. Gabe, would you do the honors of reminding Chewy what a red flag is for the purposes of this conversation?
I think it'd be better to do this. What do you think a red flag is?
It means don't swim in the ocean.
Basically it, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think he gets the gist.
All right, well, pushing it through that prism, let's have that conversation about the Green Bay Packers this morning, because there is an article out there that is talking about the red flags for your green and gold. And I got to be honest, guys, to me, these are glaring. The things that you need to be concerned about for the Green Bay Packers are glaring. I believe it's depth in this, right? They talk about depth in this article, Gabe. Is that the main thing they're concerned about?
Yeah, so it's a CBS Sports article where they're going through the contenders for the 2025 season. What are their red flags? For the Green Bay Packers, it is depth and durability.
Where?
Just all over the roster.
Kind of agree. A little bit. Especially at DB and receiver. I mean, if Dobbs gets another concussion, that's 3 within a calendar year. Is that shutdown? It's got to be shutdown time, right?
It's up to him.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's no protocol?
No,
I mean,
there's not
3
like
in
if
a
you
calendar.
Are you familiar with Tua Tagovailoa?
Yes. But I'm just remembering, was it the last game of the year where he had to be helped off the field because of that concussion? Remember they showed him walking in the tunnel and he couldn't even walk?
So there's a difference between depth guys and quality depth.
Yes.
Right? Because I feel like that's what we have always talked about, how there's a log jam at wide receiver. They've got all of these guys you could slot in. But this past year, I think we all saw that that's not the recipe for success, that you need to have some superstar studs. Right now, I mean, does Bo Melton do anything for you, Chew? Does Malik Heath do anything for you? When you talk about, I feel like they have depth at the wide receiver position, but it feels like you fall off of a cliff after a couple of them.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up two guys that might not even be on the roster this year because of who they drafted.
Yeah.
But again, it's depth for depth's sake. You know, a couple years ago, Bo Melton is the first one to go over 100 yards. That's not a good sign for everybody else in front of him. That's more to me that more says more about the guys that were in front of him than Bo Melton being a superstar, because they're looking at Bo Melton. Hey, can you play cornerback?
Yeah, that's very...
Because we like you and we want you to keep you on special teams, but we can't just keep you on special teams. You know, we need to find a spot for you in case there are some injuries. But yeah, I mean, depth all over this roster, but that's what happens when you don't have any superstars.
No.
And it just kind of all feels the same.
Corner's the same. Not a lot of depth there, or a lot of, we just don't know.
Well, they
how
added
good these
Hobbs,
players
obviously. I think they're hoping that at the end of the year, I remember reading an article that was talking about the things the Packers have to do so they don't suffer a similar fate next season as they did to end this season. And cornerback was one of them. And the JR thing hadn't even been addressed at that point, right? So it was like they must handle cornerback. They must add depth to cornerback. Well, they added Nate Hobbs. Again, some people are excited about him. I don't know. I haven't seen enough. You keep talking about that guy from Vegas.
Yeah, Q Myers.
Covered Hobbs, and he says this is a good acquisition for the Green Bay Packers. I can't believe that number one with a bullet, asterisk its way to the top in bold, in italics, is not the situation on the defensive line. I can't believe that pass rush is not the number one red flag for this Green Bay Packers team, because Pro Football Focus ranked them as 17th in the league, which isn't even all that bad, right? All right, they're middle of the pack-ish. But when you go to pass rush win rate, which is one of the hardest things to say on the radio in all of sports, 35% was their pass rush win rate last year, and that was good for 26th. Now, I don't know a lot about math, but I know that 26 out of 32 is horrible. And that's the issue that the Packers find themselves in. So why is the situation on the defensive line not the number one red flag for your green and gold shoe?
Is it because Goody said it was an off year for him? I mean, it seems like Goody's been making excuses for this D-line for a little while now.
Yeah, for a handful of years at this point.
I mean, Rashawn Gary is what he is. When you're in year 8 or going into it's Bobby Portis. You are what you are.
You're not making a huge leap.
No. Sorry, Kenny Clark, with your huge leap guess or
now he's taking a shot at me. He's taking a shot at me.
And then Van Ness, we'll give him one more year. But you know what they say: the eye in the sky don't lie. And from everything I've seen from him so far, yeah, it felt good.
Is he just a guy? Do we have Jag status here?
Right. You got something below that?
Cut, but doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
Well, no, because he's going to play out his contract.
Yeah.
But
there'll be no fifth-year option.
Future UFL superstar.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Yeah.
Good one.
Jay Sternberger.
Oh, he's got Jay Sternberger written all over him. He's the defensive version of Jay Sternberger, which is not great when you're a first-round pick because he's getting blocked one-on-one by tight ends. And I know you've got the thumb injury, but, find a way to beat a tight end. Is that am I asking too much? Out of a top 15 pick, that even if you've got a little injured thumb, you can't beat tight ends one-on-one?
And then you got offensive line. What are they going to do with Elton Jenkins? And then I guarantee you, Zach Tom's agent saying, dude, Jordan Love did it. Do the same thing.
So is that your red flag?
I would be concerned. If I was his agent, I'd say,
Your red flag is the offensive line right now, or offensive line depth?
Well, it could be a disaster. Because Elton Jenkins is sitting there going, dude, if I'm you're going to get paid. I'm not going out there. And you can't be mad at him. You agree?
So
Jordan Love did it. Jordan Love can't get a pass, and then if someone does the same thing, you can't be mad at him.
To clarify what you're saying, so if Zach Tom shows up to camp and goes, hey, I'm here, I ain't practiced until I got a new deal.
Yeah.
So he does the sit-in, which is what Jordan Love did until he got his new contract.
Correct. Now, we don't think he's that kind of guy, but...
Okay, Siri.
Yeah, I don't know why.
She wanted to weigh in. She has thoughts about the red flags for the Green Bay Packers.
I mean, if you were his agent, would you be telling him? Dude. Yeah.
Yeah. You should not be. You finished third last. You were injured last year.
Yeah.
You didn't think you played that well. The rest of the league thought you were the third best right tackle in all of football. We're getting a new deal before you take a step on that field again.
So, I don't, that's a concern. It wouldn't surprise me if he said what you said. I'm not.
It's so interesting because, again, we have talked about how the Packers love their versatility on the offensive line. They love that in a jam, they have guys who can move from tackle to guard or move over to center from guard and all of those types of things. But here they are in a situation where a guy is moving and justifiably is like, we recognize that there's a disparity here between the pay scales at these positions. I just want to make sure I'm protected, I'm covered, I'm getting what I think I have earned, and we have the situation that Chewy is referring to. Gabe, your red flag for the Green Bay Packers in 2025.
If we're talking about, again, because this is all-around contenders, it goes back to what we've talked about all offseason, the lack of superstars. That's my red flag. You look around this roster, look around at every other contender. Let's just stick in the NFC. Every other contender in the NFC, they got studs up and down that roster.
Mm-hmm.
They got great players. Packers, and I'm not trying to say that the Packers have bad players. They don't. Brian Gutekunst has done a really good job of finding quality starters in this league, and they play, again, good, solid B players. I need an A. I need a couple of A guys to step up because if your two A players are running back and safety, guess what? It's nice to have those. Those aren't the most important positions in the NFL. Those aren't the positions that carry you to championship level of a team.
It's just, I don't know if it's the media or whoever's up there gets caught up in it too, because they buy into crap like Jair saying, oh, you're going to have to triple team Dobbs. Really? Really? Okay. Devontae Wicks could be wide receiver 1. Really? Really? Didn't happen. Okay.
He's cooking.
Who is it?
Right? There was that conversation.
Be careful how you answer that. He said right to you.
There was talk that Wicks could be.
Dontavian Wicks.
Not even close.
That Dontavian Wicks was going to take another step.
Okay.
And he continues to get open, but turns out catching the ball is an important part of being a wide receiver in the NFL.
So they need one of those guys to
So
pop.
to Gabe's point about superstars, there is a part of my brain that wants to fight back and argue and say, but they're young. They're so young. And we've talked about the youth and how they've been the youngest team in the NFL. And it takes time to develop superstars. And then the other part of my brain goes, no, that's not true. Because you have guys like Puka Nacua, you have St. Brown, you have Jackson Smith in Jigba, you have all of these guys around the league who make these incredible strides. They are superstars immediately in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
A learning curve be damned. And that's where I'm like, oh yeah, we just don't have any of those. Packers just don't have any of those.
So they need someone to develop. We thought that maybe somebody last year would develop into that. They didn't.
Well, this year we think it's Tucker Kraft.
Well, Tucker Kraft.
More 2 tight end sets, going to get him the ball. Sure. We'll see. That's all you can say.
I'm hopeful for it. Like what he has shown us through 2 years, especially being a guy that went to a smaller school, I think that there is a lot of hope that he's going to be able to continue to develop.
Yeah.
I mean, Matthew Golden, hopefully he can step up.
Yeah.
And be like he is to me. If we're talking about after Tucker Kraft with the pass catchers, especially if I'm just talking wide receivers, somebody to develop into a star, like he's my only hope at this point.
But you can't take anything out of these OTAs. You can't take a thing.
No.
Okay,
absolutely
because
not.
when they talked about the deal, you see Rashawn Gary and no pads, he is eating the O lines. Oh, really great. And then what Jason tell us with the OTAs, this is a joke. It's half speed. So how can you sit there and go, hey, Golden, woo?
I guess the other thing I would say that is if you're in 12 personnel, guys, then you're not getting as many reps for those wide receivers that you are hoping will develop, right? You just said somebody's got to develop.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in you have 2 tight ends out there, then you have 2 receivers out there. So who is that? Is that Golden and Reed? Is that Golden and Watson?
We know it's
eventually?
not Reed.
Is it
We know it's
Golden
not Reed.
and Romeo Dobbs? Like, what does the combination end up being, and how does that affect that unit? Because it will. That's the thing. This is going to be an unintended consequence of the development with the tight ends.
Well, I guess I don't. The other wide receivers, other than Matthew Golden, you've had your chance to develop. You've had your chance to go out there and say, hey, I deserve to be on the field more. You've had the last 2 years to do that. I understand that Luke Musgrave, and part of the reason it's not just Kraft, right? Part of that is Musgrave, because they're excited if he can stay healthy, because he's had some freak things of his athleticism and the first 8 games that he had as a rookie and the way he was able to contribute. They're hoping that, okay, if he is finally healthy this year, again, lacerated kidney aside, again, those are the types of freak injuries. It's not like we're talking about a hammy or a calf or he keeps rolling his ankle, just strange injuries that you don't see every day in the NFL. So they've thought that those two have gone out and they've made the most of their opportunities. Which current wide receiver, Matthew Golden aside, because he hasn't been given any opportunities to go prove himself yet because he's only a rookie, of all the wide receivers, other than the ones they drafted this year, who in the last 2 years has gone out and said, hey, I deserve to be on the field more?
Well, we thought
Not a single one of them.
Well, we thought it was Reed at the beginning of the year last year, and then he just plateaued.
Well,
so someone has to pop.
But they also took away his opportunities because obviously they don't trust him doing anything other than being in the slot.
Someone's got to pop. Someone's got to pop, whether it's Kraft, whether it's Wicks, whether it's someone just has to pop.
Whether it's Musgrave, Golden. Yeah, you've got it. The list is endless, but the list was endless last year as well, and nobody grabbed the bull by the horns. But you need star players. If you want to be a Super Bowl caliber team, you need stars. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
The problem is there's no magic potion. I can't sprinkle a little pixie dust over Jaden Reed. I can't sprinkle a little pixie dust over.
Really?
No,
you have
I
some?
can't. And that's my relationship with Disney. I don't even have access to the pixie dust. Okay? You know where I am on the totem pole.
What do we got to do to get you the combination of the vault that they keep the pixie dust in?
It feels
Where do we think they keep that?
It feels like it'd be really difficult.
They keep that in California? They keep
I'm
that in
guessing
Florida?
in Walt Disney World. I'm guessing in Orlando somewhere. Like a hidden
Underneath,
compartment.
what's the castle?
Cinderella's castle?
Cinderella's
Yes.
castle.
Okay.
Little
so
hidden
in
door.
Orlando. Okay, because again, I would think the original in California.
Is Pixie Dust Tinkerbell?
Yeah.
No, it's kind of like that commercial. You're sitting on a gold mine. That's how I picture it. Haven't you seen that commercial?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Some retirement thing.
You're sitting on a gold mine?
Where they're
You
way
watch
underground and these old people are sitting in a chair like a Cialis commercial.
Literally have no idea what you're talking
Wow.
about. Not one single clue. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I
You have
still
no
want to
idea
get
what
to
the commercial's for.
Gabe's
No, I
weekend at Summerfest. He's got beef. Gabe's got some beef. We'll talk about that after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, let me tell you about one of the things I did a couple years ago that I absolutely love, and you should do it as well. Join out at the Wisconsin Country Club. Now, I did it because I love the golf. The golf course is fantastic. We just wrapped up our member this last weekend. Course was in peak condition, but also, you know, I've got some longer days, tighter time windows. I love going out and using our practice facility, the driving range, couple of different short game areas, a putting green as well, and it's fantastic. But maybe, you know, the golf is something that you like. Maybe you're looking for something else. What about top-tier amenities, tennis, pickleball, and a pool with Sunday fun days each and every week? No assessments, no food and beverage minimums at the Wisconsin Country Club. Get started today. Find out more. TheWisconsinCountryClub.com. It's just a fairway away.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on two wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Don't scroll past summer. Experience it live at Summerfest because it's more than just a music festival. It's your summer highlight reel. Don't miss Summerfest, June 19th to July 5th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Get tickets at summerfest.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk about Carbless and their refreshing flavors all the time. One of my favorites is watermelon. And Carbless just dropped the Watermelon Vodka Cocktail 4-pack. Perfect for chilling, grilling, or game day thrills. You know the drill. Zero sugar, unlimited flavor. Enjoy clean, crisp refreshment without the guilt. That's what Carbless does. Find the new Watermelon 4-packs wherever you get your Carbless. Crack open the taste of summer and get your bliss on.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So overrated.
Come on, his head is a pumpkin.
Yeah, he's so right. Chewy's never been more right about anything.
Chewy was right. Yeah. Holy, Chewy was right.
Yeah.
Imagine the helmet on that dome. It'd be the first 8.5 size. What the?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Second weekend of Summerfest wrapping up on Saturday night. A lot of people down there, man. We went on Friday. Wonderful. We saw they must do a contest for high school bands, youth bands, and you try out and you compete and you perform and you get judged, and then the winners get to perform at Summerfest. So we happened on Friday morning to walk past one of the stages. It was Rock Onsen. And it was a high school band that was up there. And they were amazing. And I was talking to the kids. I was like, look, these kids are your brother's age. And they're standing up there playing. What a thrill. You know what I mean? To like work towards something and then have the reward be you get to play on stage at Summerfest on a Friday morning in the summer. I just thought that was so cool. Gabe, you saw a slightly more established band this weekend.
Yeah, Killers. They were great. Friday night inside the amphitheater, packed house. A lot of people there. But, and again, I don't go to a ton of shows, anymore now that I'm a little bit older. Maybe hit one up a couple times a year. Why the hell are we still doing encores? All right.
Yeah, I love an encore.
What the hell are we doing? All right. Like, everybody knows. All right. Like, I go to the Killers and they leave the stage. Oh, thank you. Good night. Oh, I can't believe they didn't play Mr. Brightside. How could they have not done that? Oh, here they come. Surprise. I'm shocked they came out. I can't believe that they came out. Like, it gets to the point where with encores, people aren't even cheering for you to come back out anymore. Everyone's just like, all right. All right, how much longer we got to wait?
It's
for
just
you
a formality.
Actually,
Is that what you're saying? It's just a
exactly.
formality.
Like, why are we all going through the charade of encores at this point? Like, everybody knows. Like, they're not earned. Like,
Does
back
that
in the day.
self-praise stink to you?
It's an ego play.
Yeah.
It's definitely an ego play of, okay, we're gonna wait, and then they're gonna cheer for us, and then we're gonna come out and play the real final song.
Because you're building to a crescendo. You're building the anticipation. Even if you know it's going to happen, even if you figure, they didn't play Brightside, it's their biggest hit, they're going to save it for the encore. I don't like the idea of them just blasting through all of them. Brightside plays, they walk off the stage, the end. It feels like a letdown. It feels like it ended too abruptly.
But that's how they ended anyway.
But the encore gives you that moment of like, wow, that was so good. And we still know that the best songs are still coming.
I think they should tell you the list.
I mean, they're just wasting everybody's time.
They should tell you the list of songs. That way you go,
They do.
Oh. They do?
If you go to setlists.com.
Yeah.
So you can go, their fifth song sucks. I'm going to the bathroom and getting a beer.
As somebody who's gone to hundreds of bands, I will strategically plan when to go get beer because I know, like, this is a 3-song stretch here where I like the songs, don't love them, don't need to be here. I'll run to the bathroom, grab myself a couple brews, come back. I do it a lot.
Josh and I are in lockstep on this. Every concert I have ever been to in the last 5 years, 10 years, since the setlist.fm has been available online, I always check a set list.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue some of that is a trauma response, okay? I like to know what I'm getting into. I don't like to be surprised. That's another conversation for another day. But to your point, Joshy, it comes in handy for planning, bathroom break, beer run.
But, I mean, not every set list is created equal.
Most, so...
Because, like, for example, the Killers covered a Violent Femme song.
Ooh.
Yes.
Because they, that was what they decided. That was kind of like a local flavor, did a spiel about how, that was one of the greatest things to come out of the state of Wisconsin was the Violent Femmes.
I got some bad news for you, though, Gabe.
Yeah?
That song, typically, where that cover happened, they're just playing a different
They're playing a different song?
Yeah.
Well, but also the thing with the Killers is they played a relatively short playlist for this than they typically would because they play stadium shows.
Condense, yes,
so like this was a condensed version of what I think their full show is if you happen to go down to Wrigley and see them and things like that.
So like a band like, I go see Fish or Goose, the jam bands, and you have no idea what's coming. You might hear a song
because they don't know what's coming.
Right. You may hear a song they haven't played in like 10 plus years, but most of the artists you see, it's a pretty uniform situation because they have lights to do. They have like special sound effects that need to be played in terms
the
of
background, whatever's happening on the screens behind you.
It's very intentional with how the whole production, like the bigger the production, the more likely it is to be. If it's just guys noodling, that's usually not going to change. The one thing I've experienced is I saw Wisconsin native Bon Iver at the same event. And he said, we're not doing encores anymore. We're just playing through it. We're not going to play the game. Yeah. We're not going to play the game anymore. We're just going to do... We're going to play our songs and we're going to leave. And then the other thing I've seen is also, we've got 2 more songs. We're going to take a short break, use the bathroom, and come back and play you a couple more. So, like, they tell you the encore's happening, but we're strategically doing stuff. We're grabbing a water, using the bathroom, and then we're coming right back.
What Gabe doesn't like about it is the disingenuousness of it, right? We know how it works. We understand what you're going to do, what we're going to do, what you're going to do, what we're going to do. So you're like...
I refuse to participate. I'm not cheering for this just so you can get an ego hit out of it. Come on.
I don't know that that's what it is. Again, I think I like
part of it is...
idea of a quick little break and then you reset and then you raise yourself back up again. To me, that's fun. Chew, you don't even like being there for the duration of the concert.
I'm usually gone by the encore anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But I want to ask you this, Packer fans, are you going to get a beer when the defense is on the field or the offense? I'm saying they're not missing an offense.
Correct.
Serious.
Yeah.
So people go during the defense?
I would think so.
Why can't you go during halftime?
I was going to say, it probably happens more during stoppages.
See, that's the difference between a conference, a concert.
Yeah, but if the offense is coming up, you're like, nah, I'll wait till right? You don't want to miss.
I think you would rather time it where, okay, if I have to miss something, I'm going to go during the stoppage. But if the line is long and I miss a couple plays on defense, I think that's the way you
I agree.
Well, and Gabe has talked to us about how you get out to the ballpark these days for baseball, and the games are moving so quick with the pitch clock, you almost can't leave during the action.
Right. There used to be an etiquette thing there where you're supposed to wait till half inning.
Yes.
the game's happening so fast, I can't do this stuff within it. If I go away, I'll miss a whole inning.
Well, what's funny about that is I feel, again, in baseball, typically it's like, I don't need to see this guy pitching. I want to see us on offense. But with the Miz out there,
you got to see.
You're not getting up. You're not missing 100 miles an hour coming at you that fast.
Pee in the bottle type of situation. No, don't do that. We are not condoning that here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Gabe, you got a lot of support on the Carbless Talk and Text line for your anti-Encore rant. We'll get to some of that reaction as
Play
the
your
show
songs. Let me go
rolls on. But I do want to tell you, someone said this is Gabe's best take ever. And I don't want to say who it was because that would just stroke that person's ego. Think you all know. Then Gabe and Chewy rolls on.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Things slowing down a little bit on 41 southbound from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing down just north of Watertown Plank Road all the way up to about Hampton. Southbound 43 also slowing down a bit from just about Silver Spring down towards the Hampton area. Northbound's a little tight just north of Capitol Drive heading up to Hampton as well. Westbound 94, watch for backups from 27th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, humid, scattered storms in the afternoon, a high of 84. Tonight, scattered storms ending early, then clearing, a low of 65. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
With more than 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served more than 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Do we need a late summer field trip downtown with the Blammer?
I would love nothing more. I would clear my calendar for the whole day.
What is this? A prophylactic wrap-up?
Okay, because I don't think he's available to August because I got him grounded on the 4th.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you got him grounded on the 4th?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
What is this doing on my bed? I don't know. You were having sex on our bed? Yes.
And he was supposed to go to a party and didn't go, so... We're looking at a 3-weeker.
You gave him too many Blammers?
They either evaporated or he drank them. I have no idea. All I know is I just kept filling the glass up.
Who told you could have sex in our bed? Well, my bed is too small. Your bed is too small? I'm gone 2 weeks and you turn our house into Bourbon Street? That's it. You're grounded.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
She wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it.
Keep getting us your Packers red flags this morning. As an article out there talks about the depth of the Packers being a red flag. Chewy talked about the offensive line. I have talked about the defensive line. Gabe has talked about the lack of superstars. Red flags for the Packers headed into 2025. I want to pivot for a moment to this Malik Beasley story. Not sure if you guys have seen it. You probably saw it, actually, and maybe if you're not a hardcore Bucs fan, you didn't recognize the relevancy to the Milwaukee Bucs. But Malik Beasley is now being investigated I don't even know, honestly, like what his involvement is. If he's being investigated, the league obviously thinks that he is complicit in something, or there wouldn't be an investigation.
Well, it's not even just the league. This is a United States District Attorney investigation. He is being investigated federally for these allegations. So this isn't just like the NBA going, oh, we think something fishy's here. No, this is gone all the way up to a federal investigation.
Which is a little bit intimidating, a little bit scary.
Yeah, because chances are if the feds are
spending time
looking at you, that means the leads that they have aren't nothing.
Using some of their bandwidth. So in case you missed it, these allegations stem from when Malik Beasley played for the Milwaukee Bucks. This is the 2023-2024 season. Now, if you're thinking, I remember Beasley in that season, and he averaged 11 points per game and started 77 games. It was but what was egregious? What was strange? What was weird about it? Well, they're looking at a period from January, I believe, on, and the article on ESPN.com talks specifically about one game where there was a lot of action on the under. This is a prop bet situation, and the under for rebounds for Malik Beasley in that game was 2.5 rebounds, and there was a lot of action on the under, so much so that it changed the line. Right? It went from a minus to a plus, or it went from a plus to a minus, excuse me, which sometimes happens when there's a lot of people betting on a certain prop. And he ended up having 6 rebounds in that game. That's a lot of minutia. I'm not sure that has anything to do with really the investigation as a whole, but it's weird because to me it wasn't like he underperformed. It's not like the over-under was 2.5 and people were betting the over because they thought he was going to go off, and then he just didn't play well, or he was lazy. There's some shots out there of Malik Beasley where you're like, whoa, is he even trying on that play? That to me would be egregious evidence that he was point shaving or rebound shaving in this case. But Gabe, you're saying this is big for several other reasons.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, going back, it's just interesting that it happened in his time in Milwaukee, what his connection to all these people would be that placed it, okay? But it's really taking a look at what are these sports leagues going to do? Because it seems like this happens every other month at this point, where a sports league is dealing with some sort of gambling, one of their players gambling, and some sort of conspiracy or thing like that that's happening. I mean, you think about the NFL and the Detroit Lions that were involved. Mm-hmm. Famously, Jamison Williams ended up serving a suspension. Jonte Porter was suspended for a lifetime, currently serving a federal prison sentence for his role in, producing some of these same things where you just pick an under, he makes sure he hits that under. We just saw an umpire get suspended for a year for sharing an account that was betting on baseball games. This is becoming more and more of a common thing where these teams have to try to, or these leagues have to try to figure out, hey, what the hell is going on here?
So how would he do it here, though? Because you're so restricted with FanDuel and draft. You can't do it. So do they think he was sending someone to Potawatomi to lay the bet down?
Let's talk about it on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. It's sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health is health. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout for 10% off your first month of therapy. What can they do, Gabe? They already have the parameters in place. These guys know, at least we're pretty sure across the board, you cannot bet on any games in your own league.
Correct.
Some give them the leniency. Some give them the ability to bet on other games, other leagues, other things like that.
NBA allows you to bet on other leagues.
But I also think that this is a product of the scheduling. This is a product of just kind of the lifestyle that these guys live. They're traveling from city to city. We're all getting bombarded with the gambling at all times. You feel like, Chewy has referenced this, because you're in the sports space, you have a leg up because you got more knowledge. You know things that maybe not everybody knows. You know how difficult it is to play on the second night of a back-to-back. You know what I mean? You know certain things. So you want to use that knowledge to benefit you and maybe pad your pocketbook a little bit. It's all well and good to say, just don't do it, but it feels like the deck is stacked against these guys.
Yeah, and look, if Beasley's found guilty, then you come down swift and hard. Now, you don't put up with it. There's no, year suspension, and then you can come back. No, you're done.
But you're
done. So, and to answer your question, Chew, of how, my guess is, based on the very little information that's out there currently, is that people that Beasley knew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's make sure you get the under. Yeah, I can do that. Beasley wouldn't be making the bet himself. It would be a bunch of other people who are then flooding these other sports books in either Las Vegas, obviously, or in a state where it's legal, because we don't have FanDuel, we don't have ESPN Bet, we don't have any of those sports books, MGM, where you can just go on your phone like they do down in Illinois.
Yeah.
I can just go on my phone and make a bet. So my guess is that's what they would be looking at, is friends of his, connections of his, that would have a direct correlation to him going, yeah, I can hit the under there.
But he's picking things that are so controllable, too. Like, if you want 3 assists in the game, just pass the ball, right? So you're wide open, you're like, instead of taking the shot, like, oh, okay.
But then
I'm
you
just
still have to bank on the other player to
Yeah,
make the
sure.
shot in order for the assist to count.
But rebounds, just go crash the rim every time.
If you want to hit the, if you want to hit an over.
Here's the thing that happens with athletes and gambling. They most often end up taking the unders because you can guarantee lack
That's
of
what I was just
performance
saying.
more
Yeah.
than you can guarantee.
Thank you. If Malik Beasley could go out there and get 6 rebounds every night, I'm sure he would have.
Right.
But he averaged 2 point something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's where I found this example to be unusual. Because, Joshy, I'm with you. If it was, the number was 5.5 and he ended up with 2, I'd be like, lack of effort. And there are videos out there of Malik Beasley. I have seen some of them that people are saying, look at how he was clearly affecting the outcome of the game by his lack of interest, lack of production on any given night.
There was one against Halliburton. Did you see that one?
Is it where Halliburton points to where he's going? Because that was
and
a
he
bad
just
one.
like steps up, and then he goes by.
Really?
Like his feet don't even move. He's just there he goes.
So it sounds more like shaving then.
Well, yeah, but that's, again, because that's the easy way to control this. Like, it's easier to control under because of a lack of effort. Also, like, what do you guys think of this? Like, your client has been now being investigated federally for this. An investigation is not a charge, Steve Haney told ESPN. Malik is afforded the same right of the presumption of innocence as anyone else under the U.S. Constitution. As of now, he has not been charged with anything. That's not really a denial.
You're saying he didn't really go hard to the hole, if you will.
That's not really a denial. That's just him describing where they are in the process.
Well, that's just describing the legal process in general. We're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty here in the United States. I don't know when that went out the window.
And they don't have the evidence to prove my client guilty yet.
Look, I understand the league's need to crack down on this stuff because they're trying to maintain some level of integrity, right? If all of a sudden fans start thinking that things are scripted, that players are influencing the outcomes, in nefarious ways, then you got a big problem on your hands. I think there would be people who would just stop betting altogether if they thought all of a sudden that the deck was stacked against them, to use that phrase again. So it's a big thing. I understand the league doing this. It is interesting. The league and the federal government would not be investigating unless they had more than one example of him having 6 rebounds on a night where the line was 2.5 and a lot of people were betting the under, right?
Again,
Like, it's not just that one example.
Well, and I'm guessing, again, you're planning this out with your buddies, and you probably don't plan it out that well, but you're going, all right, what if a bunch of people bet the under, but every once in a while you hit the over? That'll throw them off the scent, right? Because this is the one game where, a bunch of people bet the under, but then he hit the over. But you're still making enough money where, okay, we'll throw that money away, and then we could still keep cashing in. Because, again, according to the ESPN report that Shams initially reported yesterday, this started early in January 24. The game that you're specifically talking about, Jen, with the rebounds was late January.
Okay, so I want to just address one more thing, Gabe, because I think this was a really interesting nugget by you, or an interesting domino by you. So now Malik Beasley was supposed to sign this big deal, and now he's not going to with the Pistons, right? How does that then affect, and you mentioned it earlier in the show, but that could have some effect on the Milwaukee Bucks this year.
Yeah, because they were going to sign Beasley to a 3-year, $42 million contract.
Who was? Detroit
was.
Yeah.
Because, you can negotiate with your own guys
And
before
now
anybody
they're
else.
not.
Yeah, now that's on hold, and can't imagine that a federal investigation that we just found out about yesterday is going to be wrapped up by 4 o'clock Central Time this afternoon when free agents can sign with other teams. So now they're in the market. They need a guard who can shoot. I mean, the defense part for Malik Beasley seemed to be optional at times, but they need, a guy like that. And Gary Trent Jr. is somebody who's going to be a free agent for the Bucks, who the Bucks would very much like to keep. Because he plays a little bit of defense, because he can knock down open shots. He fits with what the Bucks want to do, and being a little bit younger as well, younger than Giannis. So I don't know if that means the market for Gary Trent Jr. is going to be going up, and the Bucks would have to pony up a little bit more with the very limited ways that they have to sign their own guys. So that could potentially be something to keep an eye on of, maybe this won't be as easy as just re-signing Gary Trent Jr. if other teams could potentially go out and get him like Detroit would be.
A career 39% three-point shooter. I would love to see Gary Trent Jr. remain in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform, but there are going to be other teams that are interested in his services, and this Malik Beasley situation maybe puts them in the market for Gary Trent Jr., which would then obviously take him out of the Bucks situation. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to this morning. Stick around.
Let me tell you about our friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. If it's time to upgrade your windows or doors, but you don't want to spend a fortune, of course, that's where Pella comes in. They've been taking care of families here in Wisconsin for years. Pella's the best in the industry. They've got a product line for every budget. That's what I love about Pella. They've got so many different customizable options and so many options for every budget. You're going to find something that you like. And right now, get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Now, I've taken advantage of these great deals that Pella does. I've got a new door, finally have it scheduled, coming later this summer. Brand new front door for our house. Of course, I wasn't going to go anywhere but Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin because they're the best. The plan's to wait. Guess what? Get it now and then start making payments up to 2 years later. Certain restrictions apply, and 6/30/2025. Get that free in-home consultation, just like I did, and have them go through the process with you. Go to PellaWI.com today, and if you use Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, tell them that Gabe Neitzel sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Bit heavy on southbound 41 right now from about Appleton Avenue down past Hampton. Northbound's a little bit slow just before Mayfair Road all the way up towards Hampton. Southbound 43 got a couple of pockets of heavy traffic coming in from just south of Good Hope Road. Then it lets up. We're going to be seeing more delays from Silver Spring down towards Hampton. Northbound's a little slow between Hampton and Silver Spring. And then eastbound 94, watch for backups from about 68th Street through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound, slow from 35th to Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, humid with scattered storms possible in the afternoon. A high of 84. Tonight, scattered storms ending early, clearing a low of 65. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, Jen Latta here, and as a client of the We Sell Group, I can tell you firsthand, Rob and Nick make the home buying and selling process easier. Right now, school's out, and that means it's the perfect time to list your home. The market is challenging and inventory is tight, but you don't have to face it alone. Rob and Nick are pros. They take the stress off your plate so you can focus on your family, your summer, and just breathe. Contact Rob and Nick to see what your home might be worth in this market. Connect today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an East Side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
Erica, it's good to see you.
How are things at our amazing Germantown location?
Absolutely fantastic. We heard you had a bold idea. What is it?
We're celebrating our 45th year in business, so I think we should give away some natural diamonds.
Wow, that is a bold idea. How many and how big?
3/4 carat. 9 natural diamonds, each one clarity enhanced for maximum brilliance. 1 diamond for each store.
How should we mount them, Erica?
We'll give them away as diamond pendants.
So each of the 9 Kessler stores will have their own diamond pendant to give away?
Yeah, and all a person will have to do is to walk into a store and register to win.
Can a person travel to all 9 stores and register at each one?
Yeah, why not? And people will have from now until July 28th to register.
I'm in.
Me too.
It's unanimous, and people should bring in all their old jewelry so that we can professionally clean it for them for free.
That makes so much difference.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He sounds like the Beatles.
What?
Anyone?
This is a new one on me.
Listen to his
don't
interview,
know.
the way he talks. He sounds like Paul McCartney. Ringo farted and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
On 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Milwaukee. Let's get to some of the reaction from Gabe's rant earlier in the show about the Killers Encore. It's not specific to the Killers.
No.
This is Encores in general,
This is
right,
encore,
Gabe?
Encore culture, yes. Let's call it encore culture. Like, we just need to eliminate it. Just play your sets. We all know, look, if you're going to see a band that's as big as the Killers, if you're big enough to headline Summerfest and the amphitheater, the American Family Insurance Amphitheater, and you go to that show, you know what the last song is going to be. Like everybody in that building knew that Mr. Brightside was going to be the last song. So you don't need to take the little 3-minute break and have everybody just sitting there on their hands until you come back out. Once Mr. Brightside plays, we know that's it. Now we know you can go home.
And I contend you enjoy the encore more when you've had that slight dip in. It's like when you're doing intervals, right? Like your heart rate gets up, your heart rate comes down. Your heart rate goes up, your heart rate comes down. You let your heart rate settle for a few seconds, and then when they come out there and you hear those few like all of a sudden you're like, woo!
Well, but they kind of played a slower song, right? But right before it, because they're not coming out and playing just one song. They're coming out and playing 2 or 3 more songs. It's not like you're coming out just for one.
Would you be mad if they came out and played one song? Because your whole point is we need to shake up encore culture. If somebody was like, from now on, we're only doing one song for the encore.
No, let's just get rid of the break. Like, we all know what's going to happen.
It's like last call when they flash the lights. They play their best song, you know it's done. That's it. It's over, right?
Yeah, again, not everybody needs, the encore started with people like genuinely reacting and, we got to go out there and play one more. Now everybody, it's a plan for everyone. You are planning on going out there and finishing your set with the 2 or 3 songs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you see set lists now, every once in a while, you'll see somebody take a picture of the actual set list. Not like Josh and I were referring to earlier when we were talking about how you can see what set list was played at the last show and you can get kind of an idea of what they're going to play at your show. No, sometimes you see a photograph of the set list that is on the monitors on the stage, and it says encore.
Yeah.
2 songs.
Yeah.
So it is a part of when they are scheduling the concert, when they are laying out the way that they want to play the songs, they are now saying, and we'll save this for the encore. I contend, though, people would be disappointed and leave a little down if they just blew right through it.
No. You're telling me you start hearing that opening guitar riff of Mr. Brightside, you're like, oh. No, people go crazy. People are going to go crazy no matter when you play it. Again, I maintain that they should have thrown a curveball and opened with Mr. Brightside, but that's not a take.
People aren't all loose. They're not all liquored up enough at that point. They haven't gotten all greased up yet.
Start with the Mizorowski 101 and then just keep it going.
Dale says, as bad as the encore is, the automatic standing ovation is worse. What, like when they come out and everybody stands up? No, I just assume you're going to stand while you're watching the concert, right?
I mean, people were sitting. So Cold War Kids was the opener. I mean, we got there while Cold War Kids was playing. People were sitting on the lawn. There was nobody sitting the entire time. And again, this is concert dependent. But if you are headlining Summerfest inside the amphitheater, you're standing the entire show.
There's a seat there. It's like at a game. Sit down. Right?
Nah, not you are the old person. Yeah.
See, the good news is when I'm standing, it looks like I'm sitting. So, get away with it.
Yeah. Because, again, when the music is playing, you want to be moving a little bit. You're bopping your head.
You don't want me standing in front of you. Right? Would you be annoyed if I was in front of you, Jen, standing
100%.
up?
But I would be annoyed, but I wouldn't do anything about it because it's the randomness of the tickets. It just happens.
It would be but if everybody's sitting down, it's still the same thing.
Yeah, you're still bigger than me.
fair.
Are
At least you're comfortable.
Are you a sit down at concerts guy? Because this is a big thing that people often go viral for and get picked on because they get mad the people in front of them are standing. And you look around and literally the entire stadium is standing or the entire arena. Like it's a concert. It's meant to stand. The artist oftentimes will tell you, get up.
Give me the rule book on what says you have to stand.
Then what says you have to sit down?
I will tell you this. When you go to a concert, you give yourself the flexibility of do what you want. Like, if there's a song and I am not enjoying it and I want to sit down, I'll sit down, and I'm not going to be mad at the person who is standing in front of me. I have just chosen to sit for that song.
That's why I choose not to go.
Like, you have a choice. The concerts you have been to, famously, you have not had a choice.
Yeah.
You have been forced to go.
Yeah, now me and Ange are on great understanding. I'm never going to go to another concert in my life.
Yeah. Which you don't want to, which is fine.
I'm just trying to think I'm just trying to think if that is something he can actually adhere to for the rest of his life.
Hasn't, I mean, other than like the local little, bands that are playing wherever.
And I love live music.
Yeah. But I mean, it's been a couple of years since this policy was implemented.
Was it Stapleton?
Yeah, they saw Stapleton at Summerfest.
I'm going to see Stapleton in 2 weeks at the Harley
Have
Fest.
fun. I'll probably listen to it on the way home in my car and be equally as satisfied.
Chewy was negotiating the number of songs they would stay for.
And she lies about that story. She said it was 6. It was 8. There's a big difference between 6 and 8.
There isn't.
About 6 minutes.
Exactly. That's really the metric we should be using. Pete weighing in saying Gabe has a little Costanza in him right now, ranting and raving on the show. AB from Milwaukee says, I'm with Jen here. It can be ego-based, but I look at it as a part of the show. It makes me feel like the band put some effort into making those songs specific for the encore.
They didn't do anything specific. It's just their best song. It's their most famous song. They're playing it last. Everybody knows it.
It's
you don't have to put any thought into it.
It's not always that, right? I had some pals who were at Dave Matthews Band this past weekend, and they change up their encores for every show. So that's a little bit different.
Well,
They're not
all
playing
your songs are kind of mid, then that makes sense.
Wow, taking out Dave Matthews Band this morning on the show. Not something I had
one
on
Dave
my
Matthews Band
bingo
song. You've
card.
heard them all. So it's just,
No, but to the point that Joshy made earlier about the jam bands, they jam a lot. Like, so they are not playing like the songs from the album. They are riffing and bopping and zipping and zagging and all of that stuff. Like, it's a thing where a song on the album could be 4 minutes and they're playing a 16-minute version at the Dave Matthews Band concert. Don't make me stand here this morning and defend my Dave Matthews Band fandom.
No, I'm not saying you have to defend it. I'm just saying they're all the same song.
Is there an equivalent in sports?
Of an encore?
Maybe pulling the quarterback in the last 2 minutes.
The best thing is baseball, probably, and when they'll do intentionally pull a guy out.
Yeah, but it feels like that gets earned. Like something happened. And again, a lot of times
I'd argue the Killers having one of the biggest hits in modern history would earn you an encore.
No. You get to
You're not
play
moving,
it.
Gabe. The stubborn Gabe is on property.
You get to play it at the end, and we get to.
I think it's silly. I'm fine playing through, do whatever. We all understand what's going on. What's the point? But if there were to be a band to earn an encore in 2025, it feels like the Killers and Mr. Brightside are the one place we can say for sure they've earned it.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not just them. Like, it's literally anybody. Like, anybody who has played the amphitheater last week, this past weekend, this next weekend, they're all doing encores. That's the problem. Like, everybody does it, whether or not they've earned it or not. This is the equivalent, yes, and I understand this example is coming from the Killers, who are one of the biggest rock bands on planet Earth.
And again, his point is one of the biggest songs probably of the last
25 years.
Yes.
So I understand that. But because everybody does it, it's like, we're going to pull Joey Ortiz so Joey can get his standing ovation because he had a hit today. Like, come on.
What if the concert sucked and you don't want to clap? Do they just not come back out?
Well, no, you just leave, right?
Yeah.
You just leave, and then they see the empty seats, and they know that maybe it wasn't a good show. I told you guys when I went to Red Hot Chili Peppers, bad show, lack of effort, going through the motions.
And guess what they did?
Encore?
An encore.
Yeah.
That's my point exactly. Thank you.
I like the encore. If I don't like the band I'm seeing, gives me time to get out of there. Beat the rush.
Great point by you,
Skip
Josh.
the rest.
Exactly.
I don't even need that.
The rest of you fools can wait for the encore. Yeah, you're Mr. 6 songs.
Yeah.
Can we just settle on 7? Since she says it was 6 and you say it was 8, can we just settle on 7?
No, she's stubborn like Gabe. Yeah.
I respect it.
6 it is then.
I mean, it was really 6.
But
It
some of the
sounds
songs
better
went
if you
long.
say 8.
But 6 times, what's a normal song? 7 minutes long? So I was there for
What kind of
Who
music are
do you
listening
think you
to?
went to go see?
Pink Floyd.
Little Queen Bohemian Rhapsody over
Yeah,
here.
just played that over and over again.
Steve weighing in saying, give me a break. If Blammer came up to 2 with some really good metal tickets, he'd be all over that.
Yeah, if it was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then I'm in.
You think Chewy is driving the Blammer to a concert that they would go to together?
All depends on the entertainment value.
Yeah, he can't be as entertaining when there's rock music
Number
just
one,
blaring.
with the Blammer, a half-hour ride downtown, he's got to stop 4 times to take a leak.
Well, not a leak.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it is a leak. Broken into 4 leaks. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We roll on after this.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
So far, we're looking pretty standard. Northbound 43, just a little bit of a backup right near Hampton Avenue. Southbound 43 is going to be slow from Good Hope Road down past Silver Spring. Southbound 41 slowing from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Hampton. Northbound slowing from Mayfair Road up to Hampton. Everything else is actually looking pretty good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, partly cloudy skies, humid with scattered afternoon storms, a high of 84. Tonight, scattered storms ending early, clearing with a low of 65. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
The open road is calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire up your fantasy. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Evan Cohen here. According to a recent ZipRecruiter survey, 76% of employers plan to expand headcount for 2025. If you're one of these employers, add ZipRecruiter's latest feature, Zip Intro, to your hiring plan. It does most of the work for you, so you save time. Just pick a time, and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. You can even meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman here. It's the Tsunami Express Car Wash 4th of July Sales Spectacular. Get 50% off any car wash now through July 6th. That's a long-lasting clean starting at just $5. And with free vacuums, mat cleaners, and detailing tools, we make it easy to reset your ride inside and out. No stress, no mess. Just a fresh, satisfying clean that fits right into your summer plans. Again, that's 50% off any car wash only through July 6th at Tsunami Express. Find your nearest location at tsunamiexpress.com.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And guess who didn't hit the hole? Zeke Elliott.
Ashton.
Well, I mean, yes. You all right back there?
That's so true.
It was a direct shot. She took out the sniper rifle and just...
She got right up to me, took out a Glock, and just shot.
Yeah, right in the balls.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Gabe is really good at what he does. He's brilliant and often has the correct take. Having said that, I say this with the proper gravity and respect. This is the most right Gabe has ever been. Never been more correct. The encore is worthless, especially in the theatrics of it. Just say you're going to play one more, bang out the hit, call it a night. We don't need the extra 5 minutes of clapping before you walk back out.
Well, and it just didn't, because everybody knows what's coming. Like, it's kind of half-hearted clapping, you know? Like, you know they're coming out regardless of what we do. They're not walking out of Milwaukee without playing Mr. Brightside, in the case of the Killers on Friday night. So everyone's like, yeah, okay, you guys coming out? How much longer do I got to do this? Like, what are we doing here? Like, you're going to make us go through the motions? Because that's all anybody's ever doing. They're going through the motions. We're going through the motions. We could just eliminate this. It's easy.
Let's pivot to the Brewers now. Brewers had a big series this weekend. Almost got the sweep as yesterday's game went into extra innings, but were just shy in extras. Ended up falling 4-3. But now they head out on the road, taking on the Mets and the Marlins. Only 4 series before the All-Star break, and the Brewers are in a very, very good spot. What have they won? 22 of their last 31. Just on a great tear right now. And this might even be their biggest win. Okay? Aside from what is happening on the diamond, this may be their biggest win. Apparently, at the Brewers team store, you can get merch for the two-fisted slopper. What is the two-fisted slopper? Some of you all out there might be saying. Well, Joshy, give us a listen.
This is one of those pain-in-the-neck messages the Brewers are truly sorry to bring you. We hope there isn't a single fan at County Stadium who is having a problem with the obnoxious guy we call the two-fisted slopper. You know, the one who makes up-teen trips to that stand, always interrupting a row or even a section, getting to and from his seat, and gets rowdier with every return trip. To stop the two-fisted slopper, the Brewers have asked fans to drink responsibly. We have told vendors not to serve those for whom that next glass could be that one too many. And we've increased stadium security. If the slopper is still slopping around and affecting your game enjoyment, please let an usher know, or tell a county sheriff, or go to the Fan Assistance Center, located on the main concourse at Section 18. It's either our way or no way for the two-fisted slopper.
Okay, first of all, nobody likes a narc. Okay, so...
Why? That's why you can do it anonymously now. They've got a text line inside the ballpark.
The two-fisted slopper is a Milwaukee institution, okay? When Paul Molitor left the Brewers after the 1992 season, he was asked what he missed most about Milwaukee. Do you know what he said?
The slopper?
The sausage races and the two-fisted slopper, which was this PSA that they played on the Jumbotron at County Stadium. And now, Gabe, you can buy merch, you can buy stickers, you can buy keychains, you can buy T-shirts that have the two-fisted slopper on them.
I don't know when they brought it back inside AmFam Field, but they do still play that before every game, which is why people are still, obviously, I mean, it's from back in the 70s at this point when that was initially created. So they still put it up there on the big old scoreboard inside AmFam Field, and it's a cult thing. Like, it's one of those things where if you're walking around the team store and you see that, you're probably going, what the hell is this? But if it's one of those things, if you know, you know, and it's a hilarious, I think, T-shirt to buy.
Is
the two-fisted slopper?
Wasn't there an era where you could bring your own beer? into the stadium?
I believe there was. Yes.
Which obviously could lead to some two-fisted
Oh,
slopping
yeah,
happening.
it's a liability issue because you're still responsible for some of the people inside, which is, and I don't know when they got rid of that, Joshy. Obviously, they used to have 10-cent beer night, which was nothing short of a disaster.
100%.
Who's got the worst sloppers, though? Packers, Bucks, or Brewers?
Packers.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and especially in the later half of the year when you're just trying to stay warm.
Yeah.
So you try to drink a little more whiskey, drink a little
honestly,
more bourbon to get your body temperature up.
The only time where it's very noticeable at Brewer games is opening day. Opening day is more of a party than it is actually a game, which is why I enjoyed Miz versus Skeens, because it was the crowd and energy of an opening day, but actually people cared about the baseball. Versus just being hammered.
That is the philosophical element that I want to get to here, guys, because we just spoke earlier about how with the pitch clock, which we're not complaining about, we like that the games are efficient. We all got only so much disposable time. But now with the pitch clock, Gabe, I got to tell you, I'm two-fisting it. When I go out there to get my brewski, I'm grabbing two because I don't want to have to go back out there.
It's a dangerous game to be playing nowadays.
But my point is, the game has sort of now encouraged two-fisting, hasn't it?
I'm just going to tell you, that's a dangerous game to play because it gets warm inside AmFam Field, Jen. By the time you get around to that second one, she's going to be warm. And I know you don't like to waste money, but you're going to be sitting there drinking a warm beer.
So basically, you got a David Bakhtiari, the first one, and then the second one you can enjoy at its normal temperature.
But what if that game was at Friday at 7:05? It would have been a different
I was going to say,
story.
I think the affordability and the way Packers games have gone with the amount of travel, I think the Brewers games get like that a lot. It's just if you interact with those people or not. I saw people on Monday on a 90-degree day, and it was how long have you been drinking for? It's a Monday. They were walking
Maybe
back.
they rolled it right through.
They were denied entry, and they were walking back and trying to go to a different one, and they were saying, get it together. Stop talking. Just go through the gate. It was Monday.
Giving himself a pep talk?
Well, his friends were giving him a pep talk, and then they started fighting about who was being the more annoying.
Shut the hell up, Donnie.
Right.
We tried to get in here, okay? They know you're wasted.
Maybe it was a Friday on a Monday. You don't know. Right?
Could have been.
I don't think the day of the week matters to somebody like that.
So, Joshua, you're saying that people get more sloppy at Brewers games than they do at Packers games.
I think it lends itself to it largely. Shuttling is now such a huge thing where you can just park yourself at a bar for 2 solid hours and you're there in 5-10 minutes.
You know what? I think you've got something. I think percentage-wise, it might be Brewer games, but because Lambeau is so big, you're getting 80,000 people in there.
Right.
And I forget the reporter up at the Press Gazette that likes to do the scanner squawk.
Yeah.
And people getting booted or held. Again, I am not aware of American Family Field having a holding cell. I do believe Lambeau Field has.
Ooh, you know who would know, though, is our buddy Rick Schlesinger. So we should give him a call and just see. Rick, is there a holding cell at AmFam Field? Should you need it? And then we could ask him the follow-up if he says yes. How frequently is it being used?
Yeah, I know for a fact there is one at Lambeau.
I know for a fact somebody who's been in the Lambeau holding cell, but that is another story for another day.
It's a good story.
Let's take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. So, just so you know, you can go out to the team store and get your two-fisted slopper gear. They have T-shirts. They have stickers. They have, what are some of these other things that are in this photograph here? A lanyard, a koozie? Koozie, of course. I almost said cozy. It's a koozie, obviously. We'll take a break. Roll on right after this. Stick around.
You know what I say? Happy wife, happy life. And that usually means a visit to my guy, Dean, the dancing machine at the Jewelry Center. Earrings, custom jewelry, and repair services. The Jewelry Center does it all, including top-of-the-line engagement rings. And when that day comes for my 4 boys to take their next step, you know where they're going, to the Jewelry Center. Jewelry Center offers great deals and selections on both lab-grown and naturally mined diamonds. Plus, you always hear about how Gabe went to the Jewelry Center and had a great experience with the Jewelry Center specialist to pick out that perfect ring. Stop into one of their 3 locations, Brookfield, Greenfield, or Burlington today, or check out the full inventory online at shoptjc.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I have told you how many times. Do not mess with electricity, Chew.
And I don't. I did. I did. But I don't.
Incident?
There was one.
Plumbing, you're going to get wet. Electricity, you're going to die.
On 94.5 ESPN.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. For Mental Health Awareness Month, BetterHelp surveyed 16,000 people across 23 countries for its first ever State of Stigma report. Here's what they found. 75% of people believe it's wise to seek support if you are struggling, but only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy. Why the disconnect on those numbers? BetterHelp is trying to close that gap because they know that when people hesitate to get help, it doesn't just affect them, it affects their families, their workplaces, their entire communities. So go to BetterHelp.com. Here's why. They've got over 35,000 therapists. They're the world's largest online therapy platform, and they've served more than 5 million people globally. You could be next. BetterHelp.com/timeout will get you 10% off your first month. And here's the great thing. If you don't like the therapist that you're working with, you can switch therapists at any time. It's convenient. You can do it from the privacy of your home with the click of a button. BetterHelp.com/timeout for 10% off because we are all better with help. housekeeping here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy before we wrap things up. I got a number of people weighing in on the Carb List Talk and text line 800-990-3776 confirming the existence of a holding cell at AmFam Field.
Oh.
Yeah, there it is.
How would they know that a holding cell exists, Jen?
Well, Rudy in the 920 says, been there, done that. Which is what I was guessing was the explanation as well. A close family member ran across the field, slid across the tarp during a rain delay, and got thrown in the holding cell, that from Billy in Sussex. So folks certainly confirming the existence of a holding cell at AmFam Field. We put it on the Infinity Exteriors poll. As a man, would you apply sunscreen to another man's back, Chewy? This is because you said, I'm out. Did you? And you were asked to do this, right? This was a buddy of yours?
Yeah, I said, no, thank you.
Did you volunteer your wife to do the sunscreen for him?
No, that's even worse.
Again, this is why you get the spray. I think the spray, again, Chewy would have done the spray.
No touch.
Spray, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
No touch. 72% of people said no. As a man, they would not apply sunscreen to another man's back. Ron in the Key says, slap a guy's ass after a big catch or bucket? No problem. Protect a brother from skin cancer? No, thank you. Which is pretty good.
Right.
Which is pretty good. The other thing we put on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll is, do Encores suck? I like that you put Encores in quotation marks, Scott says to Joshy, who formulated the tweet.
Yeah, because it's all a charade.
It's performative.
Yeah.
We all agree it's performative. 72% of people agree with Gabe Neitzel's rant
that's a win.
that encores at concerts suck. Okay, big guy, give me your perfect plan. Give me your utopia. What should they do at concerts? And then that should become standard operating procedure.
Get rid of it's easy. So the set list for the Killers, which Joshy did find online, they played 18 songs. They're in on the set list. There is a space between songs number 15 and 16. Just get rid of that space. Stop going through the charade. Stop wasting everybody's time. It's not like they went through and did a costume change. No, they all came out wearing the same stuff.
Maybe they pounded a Gatorade.
You can't do that while you're on stage.
Do you add an intermission?
Do you want an intermission at a concert?
9 songs in. Hey, we're going to take 7 minutes.
He wants an easier way to escape. This is the only thing he's advocating for.
I got lost on the way back from the bathroom.
But you escape after the intermission.
What about the intermission and the encore? Because a lot of the bands I see do that.
Really?
Yes.
These are just lengthy concerts you're going to,
3+
Joshy?
hours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the Killers can do, I'm assuming, something of that nature.
I don't think
if they're
Taylor
not playing
Swift did an
fest.
intermission. I only went to the one show of the Eras tour, but I don't think she did an intermission. I think she just plowed right through.
Yeah, again, I'm more understanding of the intermission than the encore, because if you're playing a 3-hour show, taking a little breather, I get it. This is all an ego play. Self-praise stink PU. Shout out to Charlene.
Some of Gabe's best work here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. Wildy and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great day, everybody.
Wrapping things up with a little bit of a delay on southbound 43.